Joel, if you're still in here, I need to know if you watched the new Jurassic World movie. It's actually very crucial to our friendship that I know the answer to this question. I haven't? Okay, fair enough. We get to be friends another day. You aren't a fan of the new stuff, or was the new one bad? I didn't necessarily have, like, wasn't that the new one was bad. It just wasn't a good dinosaur Jurassic World movie. Like, everyone doo-dooed on Jurassic World Dominion, right? For various reasons under the sun. And then, mostly to do with, like, a lot of the science that was in the movie. But then turned around and said that the very thing that made Dominion bad, everybody was okay with Jurassic World Rebirth. So I tried, admittedly, watching it at the drive-in while trying to watch Daisy was tough, and I didn't get a lot of the key points, but I also didn't feel like if I turned away from the screen or stopped paying attention that I'd miss anything. Friend said it was good. Weird. I mean, everyone's got their own opinion, right? Everybody's got their own opinion, right? But for me, it's like, it didn't feel like a dinosaur movie or a Jurassic World movie. It just felt like a monster movie. Like, don't get me wrong, I can fully understand the appeal and, like, what people liked about the movie, but, like, don't sit there and call it a Jurassic World movie. Don't sit there and call it a dinosaur movie, because, in my opinion, it wasn't. So, Jurassic movie only, I think so. I think so. Because, like, I'm not giving it a fair chance, because I was watching it while trying to watch my own daughter, right? At the drive-in. So, like, I'm sure I missed, like, a lot of key stuff. I didn't watch it and think, oh, this is a Jurassic World movie. This is a Jurassic Park movie. I watched it and I was like, it feels like a monster movie. Like, I'm supposed to be terrified of the monsters that are there, not mesmerized by the dinosaurs that were there. The other thing too is, like, it didn't ever feel like there were dinosaurs on screen. It always felt like the dinosaurs were, like, in passing, so, like, used as, like, transitionary scenes, or used to get the story to get moving in another direction. And when it finally showed, like, a dinosaur on screen, it was, like, super quick, right? Like, the scenes felt like we were trying to rush to get to the next scene. So it didn't, how do I put this? I rewatched all the Jurassic movies and Jurassic World Dominion. I rewatched all the Jurassic movies, and Jurassic World Dominion had significantly more like, dinosaur on screen time, significantly more than any other Jurassic movie. But it was doo-dooed on because it wasn't, I guess it focused too much on the science of the cockroach, the locusts. But that was the thing, right? The movie itself was trying to tell you a story about why these things are happening, right? And that's pretty much how it came to be. Biosyn is trying to tell you, it's trying to show you that Biosyn needed to prove to the community and to the world that they can control the dinosaurs and have them. And how do you do that? You show what Biosyn's product is capable of doing, and why Biosyn product should be trusted, why the Biosyn name should be trusted. And so to do that, they wanted to show off how they genetically engineered. So that sounds familiar, right? How they genetically engineered locusts to operate in a certain capacity in the movie. But people got hung up on that. People got upset about that, and they were like, it was a locust movie. It wasn't a dinosaur movie. Pushing aside everything about Jurassic Park movies that came forward. Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park was not a dinosaur movie. It was a theme park monster movie. That is how it started. Like, straight up, right? You didn't know what was in that steel box that was being forklifted to whatever that structure was. You just knew there was something inside of it, and you guessed dinosaurs because the movie name was Jurassic Park with the T-Rex logo in front of it, right? So you take into consideration that throughout that entire movie, it was what our geneticists are doing. Genetics. What is genetics doing? How are we creating these dinosaurs? It just so happened to be dinosaurs that they were talking about. And every single person who dookied on Jurassic World Dominion completely forgot about that. None of the Jurassic Park or Jurassic World movies was, these are dinosaurs. It was, this is the science of how dinosaurs were brought back to life. And they even admitted it, these aren't even anatomically correct dinosaurs. These are dinosaurs that look way different. What was it in Jurassic World? Dr. Henry Wu was like, these animals would look way different if their DNA was actually whole. And I think it actually bothers me immensely that people would do on Jurassic World Dominion, because that's actually, out of the 7 films, it's significantly better than at least 3 of them. Yeah, that's my rant. I can't fathom how Jurassic World Rebirth right now is presented and pushed as a better movie, a better Jurassic World movie, let alone movie, than Jurassic World Dominion, because it's not in any capacity, like, it is significantly worse than Jurassic World Dominion. And I'm gonna find a time, probably with my younger brother, because he gets rollover tickets from Cinemark. Probably gonna watch it in theaters and watch it again and kind of figure it out, but being spoiler free, there are just so many things about the movie that like immensely bothered me when I was able to pay attention to it. And there were so many subplots I was just like thanks for the rant. Yeah, that sounds pretty dumb to do that. There were so many subplots and individuals within the movie I didn't care about, and there were so many deaths that happened in the movie that like could have totally been avoided if any of the characters in that movie had any form of situational awareness or remembered the scene and the hardship they were just in. Just happened not even a few seconds ago, and they're not, no pun intended, not out of the water yet. But they just completely, from what I was able to watch. So basically, the whole movie, right? The reason why Jurassic World Dominion failed, per se. So the reason why Jurassic World Dominion failed, per se, was because everyone insisted that it was not a movie about dinosaurs whatsoever. It was a movie about the locusts, right? So they disowned it. Mind you, this was also the first movie that they had where there wasn't any genetic hybrids that they introduced. It was just dinosaurs. And the other thing too is that they brought out retirement, the 3 original cast, like protagonists from the original film to help make this film, okay? Which means they also brought in Biosyn, the company that was also mentioned in the original film, to come in and tell this story. And everybody lost their mind. They're like, this movie is horrible. There's like no focus on the dinosaurs. There's too much focus on the cockroaches. Like, this is a horrible movie. It's bad. The actors felt like the actors felt forced, the lines of dialogue, everything, right? Mind you, I do agree that there's a lot of dialogue in Jurassic World Dominion that felt tedious. It didn't feel like it flowed. It didn't make sense. There's no reason for Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler to now have a relationship. It was kind of hinted at, but it wasn't the main focus in the original film. So why like dwell on it now other than fan service? I mean, the entire movie Jurassic World Dominion was fan service. That was like the whole premise of the movie. Fast forward to Jurassic World Rebirth, right? Everywhere on TikTok right now, it's everybody's like, out of the 7 movies, it's everybody's like 5th ranked out of the 7, right? I would put Jurassic World Rebirth at 7. Like, it doesn't peak any of the previous 6 films that have come out, okay? Okay, this isn't like a humble brag or anything. This is all 6 movies. And the reason I got this is because of my love of Jurassic World, okay? Let's examine these movies. Jurassic Park 1, what was it about, right? Well, it was about this company doing genetic research to make theme park monsters, right? That's what John Hammond said. I'm making a theme park. I own an island off the coast of Costa Rica. He was making theme park monsters using geneticists. The whole movie surrounded what he's doing with genetics, and it just so happened to be Jurassic Park. If they named Jurassic Park, the original movie, freaking Genetics 101 or something not dinosaur related, nobody would have watched that movie. It would have absolutely bombed. How do you capture people in? Well, you tell them it's about dinosaurs, you choose to do CG instead of stop motion like your original plan, and you make an absolutely amazing movie. There's nothing that is going to top Jurassic Park as far as how people felt when they watched it, just the shock and awe they had when the movie came out. There's nothing that's going to top it. That's why it's number one on every single list. If someone has Jurassic Park ranked lower than number one, they're wrong. And they should be shunned, and they should be publicly shamed. So, you build this park, it's shock and awe, something goes wrong, animals break loose, people are getting hurt and dying, the protagonists try to find an escape, T-Rex fights someone at the end of the movie. That's the premise of the movie. So, then you're thinking to yourself, wow, well, I'm like, they couldn't do this again, right? But they absolutely did. Jurassic World, what ended up having? They made this park using genetics. They tell you all about how genetics is making this park. They show you the raptors and how cool everyone loves raptors. They love the raptors from the first film because they were super smart and they did all this fun stuff. They love the raptors in every film you put them in, right? Jurassic World, the first one with Chris Pratt and his stop motion hands, right? The whole movie, genetics, that's how we make the park. Something goes wrong in the park, animals break loose and start hurting and killing people die, T-Rex battles something at the end of the film, right? That is the premise of Jurassic Park. That is how you structure the movie, okay? And that's been the structure for Jurassic movies for 7 films. Lost World, Jurassic Park. People go in, they're looking at dinosaurs, everyone's amazed, T-Rexes intervene, people start dying, animals start hunting. At the end of the film, T-Rex has a face-off with Julianne Moore and Jeff Goldblum until they goes back to the Jurassic Park 3 kind of threw that function out, but irregardless, you still had they go to look at this island, things are going well, something bad happens, the dinosaurs start killing and eating people, T-Rex has a big fight with another dinosaur, movie kind of ends, right? But Jurassic Park 3 screwed with the formula by saying, oh, what if we introduce a new dinosaur? And now you think that's why Jurassic Park 3 kind of bombed and everyone just started losing their mind, because how are you gonna introduce a brand new dinosaur? And even worse, how are you gonna introduce a brand new dinosaur that also kills the T-Rex? Like, the T-Rex is the whole reason, like, it's on every cover of the movie. Like, well, let's for Jurassic Park. And then you get to Jurassic Park 3 and there's a silhouette of a pterodactyl flying over. That everyone lost their freaking minds when Jurassic Park 3's cover came out. You're just like, what? It's always been the T-Rex. Every single time. There is no if, ands, or but. It's always been the T-Rex. And then they threw the formula out the window at Jurassic Park 3 when they added the Spinosaurus. And everybody became Spino Bros. Like, everybody like, Spinosaurus is the greatest dinosaur in the world. Needless to say, when all science, when Jurassic Park and Jurassic World started coming out, and all of the Jurassic movies, all the science indicates that the Tyrannosaurus had a greater bite force and would have decimated anything it found. Whatever, right? We were all floored when the T-Rex died. We're like, oh my god, right? Hold on, we need a wow. We need a wow factor, right? How do we get people to really feel something about this movie? To make them rate it better. That was their question. But then they're like, hey, we're gonna kill off. You remember that Brachiosaurus you saw in the first film? Like, the first dinosaur you guys get to see in the film? Yeah, that's the thing that dies. in Fallen King, like in like the most like horrendous way possible. Like everybody hated the director of that movie because he killed the Brachiosaurus and confirmed, canonized the event that the Brachiosaurus died horrendously awfully on film, and we had to like watch it for like a good like 3 to 4 minutes. Just aside from the fact that this is a fictional creature that's never existed, everybody felt that because it's like, oh my god, isn't this awful? This creature dying. Like, I don't think people are bothered so much by animals die because we understand circle of life. We just don't want to know, see, or feel like they're dying awfully, slowly, painfully. And that's what that scene did, and everybody hated it, right? And that's why Fallen Kingdom rated so low. But, much like Lost World Jurassic Park, took them off the island, the dinosaurs eventually escape and start hurting innocent people out in the world, right? Now, Jurassic World Dominion. You couldn't possibly duplicate Jurassic Park 3, could you? Maybe. What's Jurassic Park 3? Well, we go to another island, Site B, right? And there's these dinosaurs, they get into a tussle, and then we leave and everybody's happily ever after. And there's glimpses that maybe the dinosaurs are going to go out there and live amongst all the other animals and live peacefully, right? At the end of Jurassic Park 3, you saw those 3 pterodactyls flying away. And it had to be 3, because Jurassic Park 3. But you see them flying away, right? And she says it. Maybe they're going to go find new nesting grounds, blah, 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 right? And so the assumption was they're going to live happily ever after with other animals. Fast forward to Jurassic World Dominion. They go to another island area where all these dinosaurs are, and they're kind of examining them, and they anticipate that what animals are left out in the world are going to live happily ever after and at peace with all the other animals, right? That is Jurassic World Dominion. But nobody liked that. Why? Well, there wasn't a genetic hybrid. Hey, who is the big bad antagonist dinosaur in Jurassic World? Like, what are you going to do differently to invite people in? Oh, well, the park is successful, and we're going to make a hybrid dinosaur. That's what we're going to do. Okay. What's a hybrid? Well, we're calling it an Indominus Rex. Cool. What is it? It's half raptor and half T-Rex. Oh my god, I'm sold. Floored, right? That's like, you put two favorite dinosaurs of everybody's lists, and you fused them together to make a dinosaur. That's cool. T-Rex, raptor. That's cool. I can get behind that. All right, what's the next film? Well, so the park shut down, right? But we're sending a bunch of people in, right? And the main heroes from the last movie think we're saving these dinosaurs and putting them on a sanctuary, right? But, plot twist, they get sent somewhere to be sold for the military and armor and all this other stuff. Oh, okay, yeah. So who's the big bad dinosaur antagonist of this film? Oh, it's called an Indoraptor. Cool. What's an Indoraptor? Oh, you're gonna love this. So it's 50% raptor. I gathered that because you said raptor. So what's the Indo? 50% Indominus. The bad dinosaur for this movie is 50%. It's 75% raptor and 50% tyrannosaurus. No. 50% Indominus, because we used Indominus DNA. Right, but what is an Indominus Rex? Indoraptor, it's half Indominus Rex from the last film. We took its DNA. But what's an Indominus? Well, it's half T-Rex and half raptor. Yeah, but what happens when you take half of something and then you put half more of something inside of it? Don't get me wrong, the Indominus Rex was like totally awesome, or the Indoraptor was totally awesome. It should not have won that fight against Blue, but Blue had plot armor, and then everything's going out in the world and trying to meld together. Dinosaurs are loose everywhere, right? So Jurassic World Dominion, they're like, who's our big bad dinosaur antagonist for this film? What's the hybrid? You guys did hybrids in the first one, then you guys did another hybrid, a super hybrid in the second one, right? That hybrid was so smart. It was so smart. Like, it pretended to be asleep to take off the arm of my favorite racist from Hell on Wheels. He killed that guy, and then it was like, it was deadly enough. Like its tail whipped a touchpad, and it broke an elevator. Like, elevator can't work anymore, right? So who's it's got to be a way even cooler, right? Hybrid that you guys are gonna put in this film, right? Who's it gonna be? Oh, we're not. Oh, okay. Well, what's the dinosaur that's gonna? I mean, obviously it's gonna be a dinosaur that antagonizes the T-Rex, because the T-Rex keeps making it Rexy. Everybody loves Rexy, right? Who's gonna be the dinosaur that antagonizes Rexy? Oh, it's gonna be a Giganotosaurus and a Therizinosaurus. So, oh, okay. Are those hybrids? No, they're actually real dinosaurs. So anyway, they're just like, okay, well, what are you gonna? That doesn't seem very, like, it doesn't seem like a very good movie. So what's the plot? Well, you remember the company that tried to take over John Hammond's work from the first film? Vaguely, I suppose. Well, they come back, and they're super successful, right? They've been into genetic engineering and then medicine and all this other stuff, right? And they're trying to take over, get control of the dinosaurs, because that's what they tried to do in the first film, right? Okay, I think I got it. So what happens? Well, they get sent to this area, and I don't know, it was the Swiss Alps, I think it was. They get sent over there, and like the animals are contained, and they can just roam freely and just be dinosaurs. Cool. So what's the plot? Well, you know Ellie Sattler. Well, she's like, Biosyn's doing something. They're doing something suspicious. So she's gonna go and disrupt this utopia of dinosaurs, and that's when all hell breaks loose. Okay, what about the new three heroes? Oh, they're looking for a kid. One of the kids gets kidnapped. It's related to the story from the last film, but you kind of forgot about that. And she kind of acts like a brat and, an angsty teen, so you're not really rooting for her, so you don't really care. But yeah, that's the whole thing. Oh, okay. So how's the film happen? Oh, well, Rexy loses a fight to the Giganotosaurus twice. Once in a galaxy long, long ago, and once towards the end of the film, right? Yeah. Oh, so Rexy just dies? No, she comes back to life, and then she kills the Giganotosaurus. This doesn't make sense. No, it's fine, but we're gonna add elements from the book. Three to be exact. So people feel like they're watching something kind of like suspenseful. Okay. And the thing is that about Dominion is that everybody got hung up on the cockroaches and the science, not really understanding that that's what a Jurassic film is. It's about genetics, bringing dinosaurs back to life. So you have to focus on the science, right? And this is where that was acceptable for Rebirth, the new film, but it was unacceptable for Dominion, right? And everyone hated Dominion because it tried to focus on the science, but everyone was like, no, not acceptable. But for Rebirth, they're like, that's acceptable, right? So Dominion, why were we so focused on the cockroaches and the bugs? They were trying to tell a story. Biosyn is trying to demonstrate that their product is superior and that no one else should have control of these dinosaurs. They are demonstrating that their product is superior. They have control, so they are able to control the dinosaurs and have the dinosaurs. That's what the whole opening of the film was. What should we do with the dinosaurs? Give them to Biosyn. Why? Because we trust Biosyn. How do we do that? We demonstrate that their product is good. And that's where the cockroaches come from. And Ellie Sattler was trying to say, this is how it's happening. This is why their product is so successful. It's not because they're doing it honestly, it's because they're cheating and they're trying to show you the science, but nobody paid attention to that. Nobody, right? Nobody cared. That was not acceptable. They were trying to tell a story of why Biosyn needed control of the dinosaurs. That was the story, was science, not the dinosaurs. Jurassic films have always been about the science, and the dinosaurs are the backup. They come in to create shock and awe. That was unacceptable for Dominion, but it was acceptable for Rebirth. Rebirth comes in. What is this film about? I honestly couldn't tell you. I stopped paying attention. Like, the key portion of the key points of the film, all you need to know about that film, and I'm going to try to be as spoiler-free as possible, but I don't anticipate anybody really watching it until it comes out free to watch for a limited time on, like, Prime or whatever. But the key points of the film, like a Jurassic film, I want to go to someone rich wants to send someone to the island that they halfly know to do some research on the island, look at the dinosaurs, then halfway through the film, that rich guy does nefarious things to backstab the main characters. Main characters have to fight for their lives. They get a few people die that we don't care about, and then the main characters that we've introduced get off the island, and everyone lives happily ever after, right? But Rebirth had a hint of Jurassic Park 3. Family, a random family, accidentally stumbles upon the island, and now they have to fight for their survival. So there were two stories: this family over here, and what we were supposed to focus on over here, right? But they don't mesh, right? They just don't. It's like trying to slam your action figures together, create one super action hero. It's just not going to happen because it's made of plastic and not Play-Doh, right? So the story didn't make sense in that regard, right? Let's talk about the dinosaurs. Like, forgetting the science, right? We understand that it wasn't even an island that they mentioned. It wasn't even one of the islands of the 5 deaths. It was some random island, right? That they named it. It was like, I don't remember. It wasn't even near. They didn't mention Isla Nublar. They didn't mention Isla Sora, Isla Manticeras, or any other one, right? It was just this random named island. It was like St. Jefferson or something like that, right? That engine did hybrid work on to create hybrid dinosaurs. One of them got out, and then the whole island got shut down, and that's where everyone stumbled upon, right? There wasn't, with the exception of the Velociraptors, which I'm getting to, and the T-Rex, there was not an original dinosaur in that film. Not one. Not one original dinosaur that was not genetically effed up or slightly altered to look different than its host, right? The three main, the story calls that they have to go get blood from 3 dinosaurs: the Mosasaurus, the Quetzalcoatl, and the Titan Titanosaur or something like that, the really big long one, right? The trailer you guys saw for this film was the trailer that was all the action pieces. If you saw the trailer, you saw the movie. That was the action. Those were the action pieces. Those were the most important part. Those were the parts I paid attention to. Otherwise, they were just kind of randomly talking, right? So there wasn't anything that you really missed. Let's focus on the hybrids, right? Starting with the least important. The Titanosaurus and the Quetzalcoatl, right? Those were hybrids used with other DNA. What do we know about the Quetzalcoatl? It is the largest aviary creature that has ever lived on planet Earth. This thing has a wingspan of, I think it was like 18 feet. Its beak and head alone was the size of like 3 men. It was a ginormous bird. In the film, it's like 6 feet tall, maybe 10. It's not very big, right? Then they had these like raptor bird hybrid things. They tried to duplicate the Jurassic Park kitchen scene. I gotta get ready for this, but we can continue this later. Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna go back to my game. Long story short, Dominion is better than Rebirth, and I'm going to die on this hill. If you come back tonight or later while I'm still streaming, I will gladly continue. But I'm dying on this hill, sir, and you can't keep me alive off of it.
Bye.